What's up, YouTube? This video is about grips. I'm going to show you guys some of the most popular grips out there. I'm also going to show you my grip, give you a little philosophy behind why I use it and why it works for me. And hopefully somewhere within there you'll find a good grip for you, something that works well, that you're comfortable with, feels comfortable. It's important with a grip that it feels comfortable. You know, if it feels awkward and your hand it just doesn't feel right, that's probably an indication that you need to switch it up a little bit. So the two main grips that most people use are the power grip and the fan grip. I'm not very good at the fan grip, but you'll get the idea. The power grip is used for distance, for drivers mostly, and it is where you have all four fingers some way on the inside of the rim. Okay? Whether you have all of them kind of tucked like that, or some people will tuck in these two flat against the rim, or pointed down against the rim, and then have the other two kind of flat against the rims, because you kind of in between, a little bit more control. Some big names, Climo, Ken Climo, Nate Doss, Dave Feldberg, all throw this grip, and it works very well for them, clearly, given their success. The key point with any grip for me is that you want to have a nice firm control on the disc. Not firm as in you're really trying to squeeze the life out of it, but firm in that you can do this all day long, it's not going to flop out. You know, it's nice and controlled, and you have a nice good grip on it. Generally you want to squeeze harder the farther you're trying to throw. If you're really trying to get one out there, you want to squeeze it a little bit tighter. And it's also good to engage this muscle. Alright, see, that's just pushing out the thumb. That's when I engage the muscle. See how that kind of gets tight there? And this is taut. That's a good indication that you have a really nice strong grip going. That's a good tip that I just learned recently from a clinic video that I watched on YouTube featuring Feldberg. Talks about, you know, his muscle there is like huge too from engaging in there, and gives him a lot of control. So there's the power grip. A lot of people use that for distance. Now the fan grip is a similar thing. But rather than having all four fingers, you have your index finger, the middle finger's kind of out towards the flight plate, this finger and the pinky stacked together on the back end. That's a fan grip, or a common modified fan grip that people use. This grip is more of a control grip, more for slower discs, mid-ranges, maybe fairway drivers, stuff like that, where you're just trying to throw a nice smooth shot with a lot of control. Some people use this for everything, you know, even if they're trying to really haul it off, they can still get plenty of distance like this. It's not a problem. There's some evidence to support that might be effective, just in the fact that if you have all four fingers underneath the rim like this, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, have to come off. Have to like kind of, it has to rip out like that, you know, so you go all four there coming off. And then if you're doing a fan grip, you really just have 1, 2. So that might be why it has more control, is because you actually, not only are you stabilizing the flight plate with this middle finger, but it's actually a smoother transaction of popping out of your hand, because bip bip and it's gone. Some people like to use all kinds of different grips. A 2-finger grip is used by some people. My buddy throws a 2-finger grip. Excuse me, he's actually gained some good distance with this 2-finger grip. He likes it. Pops out easy. Again, bip bip. You got two little points to rip out there, and it pops out nice and easy. You get a nice snap from it. I toyed around with this 3-finger grip for a while. I actually quite like it, but I just don't really use it because I use my grip, which I'll show you now. Some other people use this grip. They call it kind of a birdie grip because it looks like you're giving somebody the finger. Basically, I took a power grip, with this modified power grip, it's popular style, and I just put the middle finger out there on the flight plate. So I'm getting the control of the flight plate you get from a fan grip, and I'm still getting 3 strong digits on the inside of the rim for power. This grip works out absolutely perfect for me. I've been throwing it for years, and I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. For drivers, I also kind of like it to be more in this fatty part right here than right in the crease. I feel like that gives a little bit more resistance when you're right in the crease there. You can get a better grip on it, but it also kind of makes your hand kind of stick on it a little bit more. I feel like I get a smoother release when I'm kind of right in this right in that fatty chunk right there. See that little right there? And you get the finger locked in. But I do switch it up, and sometimes I'll go back into the palm. It's still kind of something I'm working on now. But as far as the grip itself, I love it. It's important with any grip, whether it's the power, the fan, or my modified in between kind of best of both worlds grip. It's important not to put your thumb too far this way. You're kind of slowing the disc down there, and then if you're out this way, you could release too soon, and you're just not getting any power if you're holding on the rim. So you really want to see how my index finger is there flat. Bam! You lock it right on top of there, and you're basically pinching the flight plate in between those two digits. That's important because these will release, and then that's your last step there. You're coming around, your wrist opens up, bam! It pops out, and that's what's going to put the nice snap and spin on it. So it's important that you have a nice grip going on right there. With whatever grip you choose, that's an important thing, is to have your thumb in the right place. Now, certain guys will like it over here, and they get kind of a different thing going on. And the grip is a very individual thing. Lots of people throw lots of different grips, and they make it work. I'm just trying to show you guys what I do and give you and show you what a lot of top pros do. Give you some examples. Feel free to experiment, man. Go out to a field, take all your discs, and throw them around. Not only is it a great way to practice different shots and practice learning your discs a little bit more in a no pressure situation. You can also work on your grip and all kinds of other aspects of the game, and it's a good thing to do. So yeah, that's the key to remember. Try to engage this muscle so you have a nice grip. Make sure your thumb and index finger meet. Pinch the flight plate. Make sure you have a nice firm grip so it's not going to pop out early. Make sure you're not holding it too tight so you're not going to hold onto it for too long. Either early release or late release are the two ways you're really going to screw up your drive. A late release is usually a little bit worse, but early is pretty bad too. Either way, you're probably going to be in the cabbage for your second shot if you're playing anywhere technical. You really want to make sure you're releasing it right when you want to, coming through down that line smooth, and having a nice smooth transaction out of your fingers. Put some good spin on the disc. The other reason I really like my grip is because it translates very well to a mid-range or a putter. So for a mid-range, a lot of guys won't throw a power grip for a mid-range because you lose control. You know, it's harder to control the wing angle. This being the wing, the opposite area from where you're gripping is the wing. It's harder to control the wing angle when you're holding a mid-range in a power grip. Now, when you put that middle finger there, see how it's a little bit less floppy. It's a little easier to control the angle and get that nice flat release or whatever release angle you're looking for. So, bam! I can take my grip and I can transpose it to a mid-range with no problem. Right? I can also use a really big wide rim driver. It's still no problem. It almost feels better on these big wide rim drivers sometimes. I really like the wide rim. I have large hands, as you can probably tell, so I like wide rim drivers. I like the feel of them. And it can also easily transition to a putter for driving with putters and stuff like that. No problem. Same grip will work. So there's some things to think about with your grip. Hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions about this or any other disc golf related topic, as always, feel free to hit me up anytime, guys. Cheers.